All right, guys, we're getting a chance to get out and ride today on our 2026 Kawasaki KLE 500. This is sort of their push into the adventure model market. They kind of did it with a focus of keeping this thing super high performance in the adventure sort of realm, but also keeping the price reasonable. So it's got a 251cc parallel twin engine Kawasaki motor that is the same engine inside the Ninja. And so you can kind of get a feel for that when you're riding it. It's geared a little bit taller, so it's still nimble and versatile through some of the tighter off-road trails and things like that. But you get this thing up into 9,000 RPMs and it really starts to come to life. If you're looking for a little more excitement, this thing just wants to be revved. So one of the things that I found, I haven't been able to ride in the dirt a whole lot with an injury recently, so this has been really my only escape to turn a throttle, and I'm really kind of enjoying finding some of these other disciplines that are a little more mellow. As I get older, I still want to ride, but motocross gets tougher on the body, so I'm kind of diving into this. We've done some dual sporting recently, and now this adventure side of things. The cool part is just being able to throw on a helmet and some gloves and head out of your garage and do a ride instead of having to load up, go to a track. It's just so easy to go get in, you know, a 30-40 minute ride and kind of clear your head, get back to some of that freedom that motorcycles give us that we love so much. One of the coolest things about this, as a frugal individual, I'm getting 50 miles to the gallon, and with the price of gas out here about $5.30 a gallon in California, I think saving me money. On this bike in particular, I love how light it is. You know, if you go more of a traditional road bike, like I was riding the Kawasaki Versus for a long time, it's a 650, a little bit more obviously road style, and it's just heavier, you know, moving that thing through traffic, being at stoplights and things like that, it's a little bit tippy, where this just feels like I'm sitting almost on a motocross bike, and it's got very much a KX inspired ergonomics and style. When you sit on it, it's like they built it for a guy who came off a motocross bike and is looking to just ride on the street a bit. So the rally style design has become really popular. You know, the boomer generation and even Gen X now getting older, kind of coming out of motocross and into this dual sporting and this adventure market. So it's got, like I said, all of the stylings of that, but a very motocross feel. 383 pounds dry weight on this thing. It's got smartphone connectivity, so if you want to get into some of that stuff and the more technical things, go ahead. It gives you kind of the basics. It's got analog brakes and things like that, but it's not overly done. Some of these things get so technical and there's boards and switches and buttons and levers everywhere. I kind of tend to shy away from that. I just want something simple. Just let me go ride. That's really what this bike delivers. It's a really smooth, easy to ride power. It's quiet, doesn't make a lot of noise, which I know my neighbors appreciate. Like I said, when you want some power, you just get the RPMs up a little bit and this thing comes to life. It's a lot of fun. Couple of warnings. If you ride this thing, which I don't recommend, with shorts on, and you take off from a light and your leg drifts back, you're gonna wind up with a burn on your leg that looks exactly like that bolt in the exhaust guard. Ask me how I know. So careful there. I love that this comes with the windscreen. It's one of those things, if I'm doing a longer ride where even a slight variance in temperature can make you cold. The screen, and it adjusts. I've got it all the way up right now, but it's really cool the way you can adjust it up and down depending on how much height you want. Hand guards as well. I'm always kind of worried about getting something flicked up at me from a truck. It's nice to have that protection, and it kind of keeps the wind off your fingers as well. We always run a rock form phone mount, so for me this is like non-negotiable. Secures my phone so I can listen to music. I've got cardio systems hooked up to my helmet, so I'm listening to music. I can take phone calls and have crystal clear conversations on them. And if I've got somebody else to ride with, I'll throw one on theirs and we can chat while we're riding. So the cardio systems are great. You can use our code WT26 to get a discount on one if you don't have one of their Pack Talk Edge systems. Well worth the money, total game changer. It also does have pegs in the back so you can throw a passenger on. We went to Race Tech. One of the things they say about this bike is just your clearance is a little low. So if you're getting more aggressive off-road, which we really aren't, we're just kind of cruising dirt roads and exploring a bit. But if you wanted to get this thing off the ground or over logs and things like that, there are things that Race Tech can do to kind of get this suspension ready to handle that. In stock trim, it's perfect for what I'm wanting to do, which is just sort of cruise and explore, and they just help us kind of set ride height, but it is designed to sort of keep this thing up off the ground a bit because your clearance is pretty tight already. This thing is super comfortable to ride. It's kind of one of my favorite things about it. It's light, it turns really well, it's very smooth handling, the gear ratios are nice. I would almost try to drop a tooth in the sprocket for me, just because I'm not going to be on any any tight, really slow off-road stuff. So I could even just run it in first gear more, but give me a few more miles an hour on the freeway. You hit about 75, 80, and this thing's screaming a bit. It'd be nice to have a little bit more functionality on the highway, even if that meant giving up some of that low speed chuggability in the trails. I think I would do that. That's something I'm gonna look at. Brakes are great. I was a little worried about the single front rotor. It wouldn't have enough power to stop this thing. No problems, no issues. This thing will come to a stop as quick as you need it to. All of the functions and gauges up front, from blinker to horn, hazard, it's all really right there at your thumbs. Functional, it's really nice. There's nothing about this that I can complain about. I love the look of it. I've left the vibration dampeners in the pegs. I've taken them off other bikes thinking, I want that better platform, but honestly, unless you're into a bunch of wet weather and technical trails, which I'm not doing probably either of those things, so I want the comfort, so I just left those in. But we've been having a blast on this. We're gonna continue to do a vlog, so if you follow us on our Instagram page, go check that out, and we're gonna kind of just share different things as we get some more miles on this. Everything from communication systems to riding gear to you name it. If you're in the adventure, dual sport, kind of street side, follow along, join in. Just gonna have some fun conversations about riding on the road as I get a little more into it, kind of twist the throttle on the street a little bit more. Thanks for watching, guys. The Kawasaki KLE 500 is in dealers now, so go check it out. It comes in a couple different colorways. I really like this white. I think it looks super trick. For the money, I think this is an incredible buy. Check it out. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.